Lastly, we got a voice submission from the Mad Lad Aussie legend, Josh C. Liston. Take it away, Josh at Boar.
G'day, Bandrew. Josh here from jkldigital.org. I was just wondering if there's any non-podcasting, non-streaming pieces of gear that you've got your sight set on in 2020. The reason this comes up is twofold. I just got myself the iPhone 11 Pro Max after about 3.5 years on the 7 Plus, and I'm sure your audience may get this reference. So far, the Pro Max is like watching The Expanse on a movie screen, and my 7 Plus is like watching a YouTuber try to defend Star Trek Discovery. I also picked up the ZVEX Woolly Mammoth Fuzz pedal recently. Oh, Jeebus. Bandrew, this thing is the best fuzz pedal I've used for both guitar and bass. It's got everything from like Queens of the Stone Age-ish fuzz tones like normal rhythm sound through to like that sub-octave-ish Billy Talent intro sort of sound where it sounds like you're actually using sub-octaves. And I guess you would know, and anyone out there that plays guitar in your audience would know, when you get a new piece of gear and it's a little bit off-center, you find yourself writing and creating things that are different, which is part of why I don't really care when I see people blowing heaps of money on gear, particularly, I mean, in guitar world, because it's also different and creative. Anyway, thanks for a great 2019, brother. Onwards and upwards in 2020. And yeah, don't bother with Star Trek Discovery, people. It's just no good.
Josh from jcaldigital.org, absolute mad lad, absolute legend, absolute Aussie, undeniably Aussie. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for sending that in. I should note, the reason that I have the artwork I have right now is because of Josh. I saw Josh's podcast art, and I loved it so much that I asked him who his artist was, and he put me in touch with the gentleman who did the Bandrew Says podcast artwork. So Josh, thank you so much. You are amazing. Now, as far as non-podcast and non-video related gear that I'm excited for, I never thought it would be a difficult question for me, but looking back at the last few years, I've realized that I don't really buy anything for myself. All I really purchase are microphones and audio gear and video gear to help with the YouTube channel. The majority of my disposable income ends up going towards DVDs and CDs, so I can just watch movies and shut off my brain and listen to music to decompress. But I think a few things that are very unsexy to talk about, something that I do need to look into, a new scanner/printer. Look out, world, I'm a crazy guy. I still use a printer, and I love scanning stuff in. Well, I like being able to scan in the spec sheets that come with microphones because sometimes they differ from what they promote online, and I like to point that out. And also, maybe a different camera for my secondary angle, because I'm coming to realize more and more how soft the GoPro camera looks and how bad the colors of the GoPro are. So a secondary camera for that, for my secondary angle, might be in the cards. As far as something else, maybe a new guitar amp, because I have not been happy with the Marshall DSL-15H for a while. I think it sounds bad. It's not versatile. It's there. It's there, and I don't rarely use it. I don't use any of the features. I run pedals to get the majority of my tone. So if I was looking at a new guitar amp, I would probably go with something like the Rev G20, which is a single channel 20 watt, but also switchable down to 4 watt clean amp, which is used as a pedal platform. And given the amount of pedals that I have, I think that would be a lot of fun because it gives you the versatility without too much coloration to get the real tone of the pedal and sculpt the tone that you want. So that's one that I would consider. Another one would be the Friedman Mini Dirty Shirley, because the distortion pedal or preamp in a box pedal that I'm using right now is the Friedman Dirty Shirley pedal, and I love the sound of it. So why wouldn't I want the amplifier that is based on that? But the one thing that's keeping me from going down the road of the Mini Dirty Shirley head is because it's a set 20 watt amp, and that is simply too loud for my use case. I need something that is less than 5 watts. Right now, the DSL-15H is a 15 and 7.5 watt, and I have it set to 7.5 watts, still too loud. That's why the 4 watt option on the Rev G20 is so appealing to me. So there you have it, Josh. Those are my unsexy answers. I mean, the guitar amp is kind of sexy, but as far as non-audio related stuff or non-video related stuff, the only thing I could come up with is a printer/scanner. Go ahead and leave the OK Boomer comments down below. I accept them wholeheartedly because good golly gee willikers, what a boomer am I, still wanting a printer and a scanner.